All right, Shalom. I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory due to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, Holy Land is true from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And today I just want to go into this article entitled Chip and Skin. So, Lord willing, this lesson is edifying, straight to the point. And this is from the Sun. And it says, chip and skin, I pay for things by swiping my hand after having bank card implant under my skin. And it says, Arnie Solsk, 40, forked out €350 to have the OP in Germany. And it says, Arnie Solsk is the first Brit to get microchipped with a bank implant. You know, he's showing where exactly he has an implanted. And it says, the chip allows Arnie to pay with his hand, pictured buying the sun. And it says, the NHS healthcare assistant said cashiers and other shoppers have been stunned. He added, people ask how I can pay with my hand. The implant looks cool, but my wife would never have one. The chip uses contactless card technology with magnetic fields transferring data to readers. Surgeons open a pocket in the side of the hand for the safety pin size chip, just 0.5 millimeter thick, then stitch it up within 5 minutes. Father of two, Arnie said using the chip takes a bit of learning. It's like a normal card, but you have to be more precise where you tap it. Slakia. It means I don't have to keep a wallet with me at all time. And it says the last time I used cash, €40 went missing along with my work pass. The €220 chips are made by British Polish startup Wellermar. They expire like a normal bank card, and Arnie's will need replacing in a second €130 OP in 2029. In Sweden, 4,000 people have body chips linked to their bank accounts. Arnie from Southall, West London added, this technology could be used for anything, even passports, tickets, or driver's licenses. He knows more pictures of him, showing where he has it, And then, just for the algorithm, I'm not giving any medical advice whatsoever, I'm just simply reading an article. So I'm going to bring out a few scriptures, Lord willing, this is edifying and straight to the point. Again, I'm going to start in the book of Isaiah chapter 36 and verse 6, and it says, Lo, thou trustest in the staff of this broken reed on Egypt, whereon if a man lean, it will go into his hand and pierce it. So is Pharaoh king of Egypt and all that trust in him. It will go into his hand and pierce it. And yes, he was, pierced. He got the device, to be able to buy and sell. And this is going to be the new form of currency, once the US dollar collapses, even though, certain countries are pretty much already headed towards a digital currency, but, in the United States, the US dollar is still being used to buy and sell, Slovakia. And I'm going to go to, Slovakia. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 10, and it says, "Because thou hast kept the word of my patience, I will also keep thee from the hour of temptation, which shall come upon all the world to try them that dwell upon the earth." And yes, right now, pretty much like the C-19, you know, jab is voluntary, but eventually this thing, is going to be made mandatory because this is what's going to be used to, you know, help one buy and sell, because right now, people can still use paper money, FRNs to pretty much, buy things and sell things, because paper money, you can't really track it. But with this device, they'll be able to track, what you're spending on, when you're spending, and how much money you're spending. They want to be like the Most High. They pretty much want to keep an eye on everyone. I want to go to the book of Revelation, chapter 13, and I'm going to start at verse 15, and it says, "And he had life, Slakia, and he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hands, or in their right hand, or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark, or the number of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. And yes, pretty much, when verse 17 is talking about that no man may buy or sell, save he that have the mark of the beast. He has it. He's pretty much showing you he was able to buy this newspaper with this device. He was able to do that because he pretty much received the MOTB along with 4,000 people in Sweden. They pretty much got it. They bowed the knee to the serpent, But that's not all, those that receive the mark of the beast, i.e. this device, this RFID microchip, they have a very serious judgment coming, But one of those judgments is going to be this. This is the book of Revelation, chapter 16 and verse 2, and it says, "And the first went and poured out his vial upon the earth, and there fell a noisome and grievous sore upon the men which had the mark of the beast, and upon them which worship his image." And yes, it's going to leave a grievous sore, because you pretty much see, his hand is swollen. He pretty much stated that his hand had to be stitched together. Now, there are different methods of how, this device will be, implanted by way of a syringe. But, it's going to leave a grievous sore, It's going to leave a cancerous sore wherever, one receives it. It's going to leave a very grievous sore, and ultimately, your body's going to reject it because you weren't supposed to, implant anything into your body. And this is the book of Revelation, chapter 14. And verse 9, and it says, "The third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, If any man worship the beast and his image, and receive his mark in their right hand," it's like it, "and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, the same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of Yahweh, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation, and he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels, in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up forever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast in his image. Slakia. And whosoever receiveth the mark of his name, and yes, whoever receives this device, whoever receives the MOTB, will ultimately be put to death, by the Most High, by way of the ICBM missiles. And this is going to be that ultimate judgment. It's lucky you bear with me. This is the book of Revelation chapter 19 and verse 20, and it says, "And the beast was taken, and with him the false prophet that wrought miracles before him, with which he deceived them that had received the mark of the beast, and them that had worshipped his image. These both were cast alive into a lake burning with fire and brimstone." It's like a lake of fire burning with brimstone. And yes, that's going to be the judgment of those that receive that device. That's going to be the ultimate judgment. And again, Revelation 20 and 10 pretty much reiterate the same thing in Revelation 19 to 20. I'm going to read these last two precepts and then I'm going to close. And then there's the book of Revelation chapter 20, verse 14. And it says, "And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire." And yes, that lake of fire is going to be, America, aka Babylon the Great. And how is this country gonna, be a lake of fire? Is when, World War III officially happens. And, those missiles are shot off, throughout the world, because the majority of those missiles are going to hit this land. They're going to target and hit this land. And this entire land mass from the east coast to the west coast is going to be engulfed in flames. That's the lake of fire. There's no such thing as hell, a place that's underground, burning, with fire, where your soul is tormented forever. No, that's a Jewish fable. That was something that was made up, by the Israelites, during the time of the Greeks and the Romans, Greek mythology, so to speak. Hell ultimately is talking about, the grave. Hell is also a condition, a lower state. But the point being, those that get this device right here, this RFID CHIP, they're going to be burned alive, they're going to be melted. Sluggy. Let me bring out this last precept. This is the book of Zechariah chapter 14 and verse 12, and it says, "And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord will smite all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away, and their holes, and their tongue, and their slakia, and their tongue shall consume away in their mouth. And that's pretty much a vivid description of what's going to happen to those that receive the MOTB, the mark of the beast. They're going to be burned alive. They're going to ultimately be melted. And a prime example of that would be, the scene from Terminator 2, when Sarah Connor pretty much had the dream of her being, destroyed by nuclear fire. And that's what's coming to America, mainly because of the wickedness that, Esau Edom has pushed, throughout this country and ultimately throughout the world, but America is Babylon the Great. And in order for, the earth and all the nations to pretty much be at rest, this land has to be destroyed, So, Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashum, Yahweh Shai, Bahashum, Rakakwadash. I'd like to give double honors unto the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone, where I learned this truth from. And I'd like to say peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. Till the next time I say shalom.